Folks, there is a lot of crazy new stuff coming out with the UFO files, and you're not going to believe some of what I'm going to tell you in this video, because now we're hearing more and more, high-level politicians, mainstream media actually reporting on what's going on with the unidentified flying objects, these beings from the universe. And we've heard time and time again that the government are denying that there's any extraterrestrial beings out there that have been found. But it turns out, it sounds like that was a whole bunch of cap. And we're seeing more and more politicians coming out to say, yes, it's actually true. And the government knows that we're not alone in the universe. And they're trying their best to keep all of the proof and the information about these extraterrestrial beings and crafts from the public, but they really can't stop it anymore. And there's been some absolutely crazy information that's been leaked, and I'm going to explain it to you all in this video. So the first thing that I'm going to show you here, okay, Representative Tim Burchett, okay, he would tell a news host, "We are not alone. Roswell, Area 51, Wright-Patterson, we've been hearing about this for 70 years. You know, I can't talk much about it because you're an active member, but are we alone?" He said, "No, we're not alone." He said, "They're here. It's real." Right? Confirmed. Listen to this.
Roswell, Area 51, Wright-Patterson down in Dayton, my home state of Ohio. We've been hearing about this stuff now for 70 years. That we have it, we don't have it. That we've re-engineered it, no, we haven't. I know you can't talk about much because you're an active member. But just give me a wink. Are we alone?
No, we're not. We're not alone.
Wait a minute. Guys, did we just break that? Wait a minute. Is that April Fool's today, Tim?
No, it's second. No, we are not alone.
We don't make all them movies up just because somebody's creative in Hollywood and knows how to write that crap. They're getting this from somewhere.
Let me leave you with this one, Dan. Okay. I was in a meeting, and I'll just leave it at that as a meeting because I have a lot of meetings. Yeah, and if that was allowed to be told in the public, the wheels would come off. They would come off. Because every detractor was put in their place.
They said the government did so much to silence people that spoke out about this, the wheels would fall off the government if they admitted that they know that the aliens are real. It's crazy. It says the wheels would come off the programs or the wheels would come off society. Every detractor in the meeting was put in their place. Interesting. Does that mean people have been killed, disappeared? Like, I can't fully grasp what he's saying here, but we're not alone. That is big. Feels like to me he's saying everyone was skeptical about aliens, was shown something that put them in their place and gave them no room to be a detractor. They're saying the wheels would come off the government. It seems the US government has been working with aliens for many years, which is why the technology got so advanced in a short time frame. At least that's a conspiracy I heard many years ago, but now maybe they were onto something. It's the next natural step after aliens are real, and we have some of their stuff. All right? It is insane. Okay? He said this like a million times. Says the US government admitted in 2017 we're not alone. This isn't new. Even the Pope thinks we're not alone. The issue is most likely just what Elizondo stated. There's a large group of evangelical Christians in the government who think everything is a demon and are refusing to release any info. While it will not negate Christianity, it will negate the evangelical messianic cult which they belong to, and it will discredit them. And with discredit, they will lose power. These are the people who worship Mammon, but have not convinced them that they are Christian. That is even as they do what Jesus forbade. Okay, so there's more. All right, more mainstream media and news outlets have been reporting on a string of suspicious disappearances involving high-profile UFO specialists. We've been covering this on the channel for quite some time. Okay, but now it is getting to the mainstream news. I know a lot of people don't rock with Fox News. I'm not the biggest Fox News fan, but it is a mainstream media that do be reporting on mainstream news. And even they're now picking up. They're a bit late, all right? Shout out to the mainstream media, but, I was on this story for a minute, all right? Probably a month plus now at this point. But people are starting to notice these missing and suspiciously murdered and deceased scientists, all connected to UFOs. It's happening. It's real.
There's a story that caught our attention. We're talking about a number of U.S. scientists, some connected to very sensitive research, who have died or disappeared. Let's break down what we know so far. We're going to start with Carl Grillmar. Carl Grillmar, pictured here, was an astrophysicist at Caltech. He worked on a NASA-supported space telescope project and infrared systems. Now, he was shot and killed at his home just 2 months ago. Then there's Frank Maywald. He was a senior scientist at NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab, focused on advanced satellite systems, and he died nearly 2 years ago, but his cause of death has never been made public. Meanwhile, Monica Reza also reportedly connected to NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab project. She went missing last summer while hiking in California. No trace. it keeps going. There's William McCaslin, a retired Air Force general. He, too, is missing. He's a former head of Air Force Research Lab and oversaw advanced space and surveillance programs. He's been missing since February. And reports say he once oversaw funding connected to a project that also included Monica Reza. Now, there's more to...
It's actually crazy seeing this reported on Fox News like weeks after I started reporting on it, and people calling me crazy. They were saying this is nonsense. You're clickbait and you're doing conspiracies now. Not, you know what I mean? Not so funny now. I was on this story from time ago.
Mexico. Melissa Casais. She has been missing since last summer. She worked at Los Alamos National Lab. She had an administrative role, but reportedly also had security clearances. Just months earlier that she went missing, so too did Anthony Chavez, also connected to Los Alamos, an engineer. He disappeared during a walk. No signs, no answers. And then finally, there's Nuno Loureiro. You remember Nuno Loureiro? He was the MIT researcher focused on nuclear fusion and was shot and killed in his Massachusetts home last December. It was the case of the Brown shooter. It's a separate case with no confirmed links to the others. But here's the key point. Authorities have not connected these cases, but look at the overlap. The same handful of institutions, NASA, Air Force Research, Los Alamos Laboratory. So, could they be connected? Or is this something else entirely?
Crazy that this is hitting the mainstream now, okay? It's actually crazy. It's saying should be on the front page of Reddit. I mean, really, what the F's going on? So maybe they found out what's going to happen soon and the aliens took them somewhere to keep them quiet, not ruin the surprise. Somehow, I don't think it'll be a nice surprise, okay? It is actually crazy. People saying domestic three-body problem. Could be aliens doing it still. People are saying it comes across like whatever they saw in their job was so important to tell us that they ended up on this list. It says perhaps some of these scientists were recruited for a secret project and we're not being told because it falls under national security. That would be one possibility. We would need to investigate the fields in which these scientists specialize. Or perhaps these scientists were eliminated because they know things that fall under national security. Either way, the disappearance of these scientists is a cause for concern. Something ain't right, and it doesn't explain the deaths. Okay? Doesn't explain the deaths. It's crazy. So there would be more sightings that have been posted. So there's some drillers in Northwestern Territories that recently captured footage showing a massive unexplained object hovering the sky. This was just 2 days ago.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that, bro? What the fuck is that?
Now that to me looks like the moon, but is it moving? It's moving a little quick. It's moving like Pac-Man, quick. Look how fast it's moving over that chain, no moon.
I don't know, man. Oh my god, bro, what is that?
I thought it was the moon, man.
What the fuck, bro?
I don't know, man.
It's fucking moving, dog. Oh, that territory's drilling. Fucking UFO, man. What the fuck?
That's crazy. Look at the star. So it's moving faster than this star or light, whatever that is.
Oh shit! What the fuck? Oh my god, bro.
It looks like that star's actually moving with it. Whatever that dot is moving with it.
No fucking idea. There ain't no cloud. I don't know what the hell that is, man. Fucking crazy, dude.
That's fucked, bro. What the fuck?
That is bizarre. That is bizarre. Okay, so that's the latest sighting. Okay, people saying noteworthy moment. The star above the shape flashes while another star becomes visible for a few seconds. Very strange. Awesome catch. Honest reaction and filmed out of sight. When your little orb tells you it needs a cloud for school tomorrow at 8:45. Says there's actually two little escorting lights, C-51s. There's an orb floating along with it too. So scary. All right. Crazy spooky. And even the Daily Mail have reported on this on some of these things that have been going on. Actually, no, I'm going to show you something else first. So there's actually been reports for years now, all the way back since the 50s, that apparently President Dwight D. Eisenhower actually had a secret meeting with extraterrestrial beings at the Edwards Air Force Base. They're saying that there was actually meetings between the president and aliens. That's what they're saying.
Let me ask this question on the nuclear side, right? You know, you hear stories about, you know, a lot of times when the aliens show up is when we're in war or nuclear, you know, fears and all this stuff. And then you hear about the time where Eisenhower is on vacation and he steps away for a few days. Apparently, allegedly, he met with aliens because aliens said, you give us the nuclear stuff, we're going to give you some powerful technology. The world was so worried about it that even Associated Press reported that Eisenhower's dead. He died from, you know, cancer or heart attack. They just made up some kind of a story.
Right.
And he was alive all along. Now, you know, some say that's a myth. Some say that's true.
No, I have a document from the Ministry of Defense.
I want to hear it. That's so.
Well, that's in here too. And there was a man who reported out about that meeting. It was at Muroc, M-U-R-O-C. It's sort of near where Edwards Air Force Base is now. It didn't exist at the time in 1956 or 7 when it happened. But yeah, that did happen.
Let me ask.
So they're saying this really happened, okay? Even the Daily Mail reported on the incident. They reported on apparent secret meetings with the president. President Eisenhower had 3 secret meetings with aliens, former Pentagon consultant claims. This is mainstream media. This was all the way in 2012 this was reported. So the ex-president met with extraterrestrials on 3 separate occasions at a New Mexico airbase. Eisenhower and the FBI officials organized the meetings by sending out telepathic messages. What the fuck? So basically, it says that in 1954, Timothy Good claimed that he actually, the ex-president met the aliens. Okay, they organized it with telepathic messages. Apparently, the 2 parties met up on 3 separate occasions, and there were many witnesses. Conspiracy theorists have circulated increased rumors in recent months. The meeting between the commander-in-chief and people from another planet took place, but claims from Mr. Good, a former U.S. Congress and Pentagon consultant, are the first made publicly by a respected and prominent academic. Speaking on Frank Skinner's BBC Two current affairs show, Opinionated, he said governments around the world have been in regular contact with aliens for decades. Aliens have made both formal and informal contact with thousands of people throughout the world from all walks of life. People were asking why aliens didn't go to somebody important like Barack Obama. He said, well, certainly I can tell you that in 1954, Eisenhower had 3 encounters, including Air Force bases in New Mexico. He added there were many witnesses. Eisenhower, president from 53 to 61. He had a strong belief in life of other planets. The former 5-star general of the U.S. Army, who commanded the Allied forces in Europe during World War II, was also keen on pushing the U.S. space program. His meeting with cosmic life forms was said to have taken place while officials said that he was on vacation in Palm Springs, California. Always something going on in fucking Palm Springs, isn't it? The initial meeting is supposed to have taken place with aliens who were Nordic in appearance, but eventually the agreement was signed with a race called Alien Greys. There's some sexy Nordic aliens, apparently. Mr. Good added, we know that up to 90% of all UFO reports can be explained in conventional terms. However, I would say millions of people worldwide have actually seen the real thing. Classified documents would be released stating that Winston Churchill might have ordered a UFO sighting to be kept secret. UFO seen over the east coast of England by an RAF reconnaissance plane returning from a mission in France or Germany towards the end of the war. And Churchill was apparently discussing how to deal with UFO sightings with Eisenhower. This is coming from the very top people. And another letter from Dr. Gerald Light formally would apparently confirm the same thing back in 1954 as well. This was a letter where Gerald Light appeared to open up about this. Said, my dear friend, I've just returned from the Muroc. The report is true, devastatingly true. I made the journey in company with Franklin Allen of the Hearst Papers and Edwin Norse of Brookings Institute and Bishop McIntyre of LA. When we were allowed to enter the restricted section, after about 6 hours in which we checked on every possible item, event, incident, and aspect of our personal and public lives, I had a distinct feeling that the world had come to an end with fantastic realism. For I've never seen so many human beings in a state of complete collapse and confusion as they realized their own world had indeed ended with such finality as to beg a description. The reality of the other plane aeroforms is now and forever removed from the realms of speculation and made a rather painful part of the consciousness of every responsible scientific and political group. They're saying that their whole worlds were shattered when they found out this shit was real. So during my 2 days visit, I saw 5 separate and distinct types of aircraft being studied and handled by our Air Force officials with the assistance and permission of the Etherians. I have no words to express my reactions. It has finally happened. It's now a matter of history. President Eisenhower, as you may already know, was spirited over to Muroc one night to visit his during his visit to Palm Springs recently, and it's my conviction that he will ignore the terrific conflict between the various authorities to go directly to the people via radio or television. If the impasse continues much longer, from what I could gather, an official statement to the contrary is being prepared for a delivery about the middle of May. So they're saying they're going to lie about it. It happened, and they're all going to lie about it. Said, I'll leave it to your own excellent powers of deduction to construct a fitting picture of the mental and emotional pandemonium that is now shattering the consciousness of hundreds of our scientific authorities and all the pundits of the various specialized knowledges that make up our current physics. He said that there's mental pandemonium amongst the scientists that have to look at these real-life aliens that have been discovered. It says, in some instance, I could not stifle a wave of pity that arose in my own being as I watched the pathetic bewilderment of rather brilliant brains struggling to make some sort of rational explanation which would enable them to retain their familiar theories and concept. I thanked my own destiny for having long ago pushed me into the metaphysical woods and compelled me to find my way out. To watch strong minds cringe before totally irreconcilable aspects of science is not a pleasant thing. I had forgotten how commonplace things as dematerialization of solid objects had become to my own mind. The coming and going of an etheric or spirit body has been so familiar to me these many years, I'd forgotten that such a manifestation could snap the mental balance of a man not so conditioned. I shall never forget those 48 hours at Moo Rock. So he's saying that he saw scientists literally losing their minds and having to relearn everything because it turned out these aliens are true. It's insane. So in May 2010, former Arkansas State Representative Mark Elroy actually also went on the record to discuss his own findings with regard to alien life.
I would like to submit to our nation my personal testimony of one document related to one of these ongoing topics, which I saw while in office serving on the State Federal Relations and Veterans Affairs Committee. The document I saw was an official brief to President Eisenhower. To the best of my memory, this brief was pervaded with a sense of hope, and it informed President Eisenhower of the continued presence of extraterrestrial beings here in the United States of America. The brief seemed to indicate that a meeting between the President and some of these visitors could be arranged as appropriate if desired. The tone of the brief indicated to me that there was no need for concern since these visitors were in no way causing any harm or had any intention whatsoever of causing any disruption then or in the future. While I can't verify the times or places or that any meeting or meetings occurred directly between Eisenhower and these visitors, because of his optimism in his farewell address in 1961, I personally believe that Eisenhower did indeed meet with these extraterrestrial off-world astronauts. I hope my personal testimony will aid the nation in its quest for continued enlightenment. I am honored.
It's insane. Okay, now there's more. Okay, there's more examples. So in 1993, Albert Einstein's assistant, Dr. Shirley Wright, would claim that she and Einstein were present in Roswell in 1947 to examine the recovered alien life forms. This is insane.
All I recall is several people using the word Roswell. And that must be where the crash occurred then, and then they brought them to the other place. It looked like at an airport facility where there was like a rather good-sized building, a hangar, where they had the spaceship and then where they had the bodies.
Was it an intact ship?
No. No, it was badly damaged.
Was there anything written on the ship?
No. Not anything I saw, no. Not by the time I saw it.
Can you describe what it looked like? Did you touch them?
Yeah, they didn't let me do that, but the other people were permitted to do that because they were very curious about knowing what kind of materials they were. The body of the ship was the body of the ship was what I would call today rather a reflective material, but when you looked at it and you were close to it, it was rather dull. So it had to be energetically reflective or translucent or glowing.
So it's insane, all right? They're saying Einstein and his assistant pulled up and linked up with the aliens, all right? They didn't want to have any trouble. They was just locked in. Linking up with the president. And so she would basically go on to explain some crazy, brazy shit. She would basically say that these entities reportedly explained to the humans that they were just seeking a new home.
Well, this one indicated, at least telepathically, like they don't have a sex like we do, so I can't say he or she or something. It indicated that they were exploring intergalactic space what we would call intergalactic space. He didn't call it that. Search a better source than where they were. They were running into a problem where they are from because of some physical condition, energy-wise. And they needed to go some other place. And so we took it that they were wanting to maybe colonize some other place. And they were finding that Earth was entirely unsuitable to them. And that's why they were, because they found out that we are not at their level at all, so they had nothing to fear from us.
So they're saying that these aliens, this is correct, I can't even believe I'm saying this. She's saying that the aliens said telepathically that they had an energy problem on their home planet and that they was intergalactically searching for a new home. And they said the conditions on Earth was all fucked up. They wasn't rocking with Earth. They said, nah, we're going to pass on Earth. We ain't trying to hurt nobody. We just trying to find a new spot to call home. And she would go on to describe the physical appearance of them aliens.
9. I saw 9. 8 bodies, and then later we communicated with that one, so there were 9.
And can you describe they were?
Oh, I sure can. I remember that very well. They were a very light, soft, gray, I'd call it grayish green, really. And they had a slim, lean, they had no nose, but they had markings where a nose opening would be. They had eyes and a mouth, no eyebrows. They had ears. They had a very forehead, and I'd say relative to the rest of their body. And the ones that I saw were approximately maybe 5 feet tall, 5 feet 5, something like that. They're small by what a man did on Earth.
What did their eyes look like?
Their eyes were enormous. They were very prominent. They were the most obvious thing you'd see on their face.
Were there any pupils?
I noticed, but I never saw any pupils.
What color were they?
They were almost brown-black. They were very, very dark.
Bro, I just can't believe this is real. I can't believe this. It's insane. Okay, they're saying the aliens really got big eyes, no noses, holes in the holes to breathe through, giant, no pupil eyes, giant foreheads, bigger than their body, slender, grey skin. What the fuck? Okay, I can't believe it. But look, it is what it is. Apparently, every level of the government, they know that they're real. You got J.D. Vance calling them demons. I just can't believe it. Okay, so look, I'm going to be digging deeper into this. I might do a full-blown investigation into the UFO murders soon, but I am honestly gobsmacked by what I'm reading. And I understand why scientists would be losing their minds over this, because it's like, you got to relearn everything you thought you knew. So let me know what you thought of that. I'll keep you guys updated if I hear any more crazy shit in the UFO files, but I am honestly mind blown by this. So yeah, anyway, I hope you found that interesting. I'll be back tomorrow with some more content. Done 4 videos for you back to back today. Hope you enjoyed those, all different types of topics. So yeah, we active in the new setup. I'm loving the new setup. It's fire. It's actually fire. This is all real. But anyway, okay, I'm looking like I'm really hunting for the UFOs in the setup. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching and stay safe out there. The aliens are real.